SportsCenter.
Hi there, I'm Chris Berman. We got a lot of games to cover, so let's get to it. In our first game this week, we had the Bengals edge their way to a narrow 3-point win. The Rams won this contest and will now move to third place in the NFC West. Gibbs stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. In a long-standing NFC rivalry, we had the Vikings pick up their 6th win of the year. Atkins pulled down 100-plus receiving yards and helped his Patriots beat the Bills. In the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., we had the Redskins squeak to a 1-point victory. Seahawks, Texans. Andre Johnson, he's split out at the 14-yard line as they look to get 6. Makes the move toward the middle, and a nice catch at the back of the end zone for 6. The Texans win this one by the final score of 31-24. Over in the stadium, we had the Panthers lose by a 9-point margin. The Broncos defense held their opponents to under 50 rushing yards in their win at Invesco Field at Mile High. We had an interesting free agency pickup of note here. Trey's got the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris. Let's switch gears and talk about players that'll have new homes in the National Football League, as free agency continues to play such a huge role in determining a team's makeup. Parsons is on the move. Perhaps not for all that he thought he'd get, but a good deal nonetheless. 4 years, $5.0 million. Bryant will also have a new address for a while as he signs a 4-year contract with the Patriots. Collier will have a new place to call home as he accepts a new contract. 3 years, $4.7 million. This guy is on the move as well as he signs a 3-year contract with the Bears.
The Giants lost on the road but will get to head home and meet the Cowboys. The Raiders lost this one but will stay at number 2 in the AFC West. We had a big trade also of note here. Trey's got the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris. Well, trades aren't quite as common in the NFL nowadays as they are in other sports, certainly. But we've got news to report to you on the trading front nonetheless. Wilson leaves the Raiders and is on the move to the Falcons. And it's clear this was an area of their football team that needed somebody. In exchange, they'll get someone to beef up their roster. Hoffman is a guy that ought to be able to fit right in with his new club, and he should make his presence felt over time.
Browns, Dolphins. Santana Moss is ready at the 31-yard line. Play gets underway, close coverage. Oh, now with a beautiful move gets open, and it's a 6th spot. The Dolphins go on to win this by the final score of 23-14. We had a big injury in this one, and Trey has the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris, thanks. In front of you, we've got the AFC Infirmary Report. And as you can see, they were hit hard this week. Howell won't see action for a while, so this offense is going to have to make do without him. And you can tell from the expression on his face it was a bad one. A ruptured Achilles, and he'll be out for the rest of the season. In front of you, we've got the NFC list. And as you can see, they could form their own mash unit. Sutton won't see action for a while, so this offense is going to have to make do without him. A broken shoulder will keep him out for the rest of the regular season. There's a chance, however, they'll get him back for the playoffs. On to the serious news of the week. Bradley had to be placed on injured reserve, so he'll be on the sidelines for the rest of the year. Just a key blow to the heart of his defense. Now we'll move on to our top story of the day. This guy is going to be watching from the sidelines for a while, as his injury will deal a major blow to this team. So that'll do it for now. Boomer, back to you.
The Buccaneers win yet again this week and keep their impressive streak alive. Number 83 had over 50 yards receiving and helped his Colts beat the Chiefs. In a long-standing NFC rivalry, we had the Cardinals pick up their 8th win of the year. And last but not least, we had the Falcons come away victorious.
All right, Chris, thanks. Time to check out our playoff races now as December is officially upon us. Let's start it out with a look at the AFC. And now checking things out over in the NFC playoff race. So that's how we stand to this point. Still lots of jockeying left to go as we get this thing sorted out for January. And that'll do it from here. Chris, let's send it back over to you.
That'll do it here for Pivotal Week 14. Things ought to get very interesting over the next 3 weeks, huh? Before we go, my prime-time players' game balls go out to a few gentlemen that are pushing their teams toward the playoffs. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.